Many people are aware that good investments are just one of the many ways to attain riches. Loads of it. If you, for a second, thought we were going to prove you wrong, then you stand corrected, my friend. These investment bankers are taking the world by storm, and we're more than happy to give you a glimpse of it. Welcome back to our channel, and in today's video, we're going to enlighten you on the richest investment bankers in the world. Sit tight and get ready, because we're going to take you into the green world of investment banking. Let's get started. Number 6. Jorge Lehmann. Starting up the list of the richest investment bankers is Brazilian investment banker, businessman and billionaire with Brazilian and Swiss citizenship. He even holds the record for being the wealthiest Brazilian in the world. Okay, Jorge. In 1970, he moved from Switzerland to Brazil to start an investment bank, and a year later, in 1971, Jorge Sicapira, Carlos Alberto, and Marcel Herman Teles founded Banco Garantia, a Brazilian investment banking firm. Undaunted by a market crash that came weeks after they founded the company, Jorge was able to build Banco Garantia into one of the most innovative and prestigious investment banks in the country. Jorge is a child of Swedish immigrants, and he grew up in a low-income house where his father worked a menial job as a dairy maker. He came from a poor home, but that didn't slow him down. He worked harder to get where he is today. In 1988, Jorge sold Banco Garantia for a whopping $675 million. Wow. He has an estimated net worth of a whopping $15.5 billion, so no surprise he made our list. Lehmann was even described by Forbes as a Brazilian version of Goldman Sachs, and honestly, we couldn't agree more. Jorge and his partners currently help to control AB InBev as members of its board of directors, and is a co-founder of the Brazilian investment firm 3G Capital, which owns brands like Heinz and Burger King. Go Jorge! Number 5. Ray Dalio. Ray Dalio is an American investor, billionaire, and hedge fund manager who has served as co-chief investment officer of the largest hedge fund in the world, Bridgewater Associates, since 1985. He earned his MBA from Harvard Business School in 1973 and went on to establish Bridgewater Associates back in 1975 in New York City. And within 10 years, it was infused with $5 million investment from the World Bank Retirement Fund. By the year of 2013, Bridgewater was even among the most significant insurance companies and hedge funds. Ray is regarded as one of the greatest investors in the world of finance, having popularized many common practices now in use, including currency overlay, global inflation indexed bond management, risk parity, and portable alpha. Dalio is also the author of Principles, Life and Work about investment philosophy and corporate management, which has been a New York Times best-selling book and the #1 business book on Amazon in 2017. The New York Times bestseller list even called it a gospel of radical transparency. Ray was ranked 46th on Forbes' list of billionaires back in 2020 and has an estimated net worth of $16.9 billion. Ray Dalio also deploys several strategies within Bridgewater Associates, and he deploys capital to each of his strategies in proportions that seems fit to him. According to him, Bridgewater Associates is a global macro firm, investing around trends in the market including GDP growth, change in exchange rates, and inflation. Ray is so good that the New Yorker even called him a big picture thinker connected to a street smart trader. That's one smart man. Number 4. Peter Kellner. On number 4, we have Peter Kellner, who was a Czech entrepreneur, billionaire, the founder and the majority shareholder of the PPF Group. At the time of Kellner's death, he already had an estimated net worth of $17.5 billion, thereby making him the wealthiest person in the Czech Republic. That's one rich man. After the Velvet Revolution, Peter worked for the Czech company Impromat, a seller and importer of Ricoh photocopiers. He then went on and founded the PPF Group back in 1992, and the fund's names were then changed from privatization to investment. The PPF Group was very successful, having invested in more than 200 businesses. The group also holds a dominant position in the Czech Republic's most prominent insurance carrier. Peter also obtained a significant stake in Komerční Bank through the PPF Group. It turns out that Peter always concentrated his efforts on high-value transactions. Did we mention that Peter owned 98.93% of the PPF investment and financial group as of 2013? Yeah, he's that good. He was first listed in Forbes' list of billionaires back in 2006 with an estimated net worth of $3 billion and ranked as the 224th wealthiest person in the world. A year later, in 2007, he ranked 119th with an estimated net worth of $6 billion. And in 2008, he was 91st with an estimated net worth of $9.3 billion. In 2009, he ranked 76th with an estimated net worth of $6 billion, and in 2010, he ranked 89th with an estimated net worth of $7.6 billion. We don't know what this man looks like to you, but he looks like a go-getter to us. Number 3, Jim Simmons. We're finally at our top 3 richest investment bankers, and starting it off is John Simmons. John Simmons is an American mathematician, hedge fund manager, and of course a philanthropist. All that in addition to being one of the richest persons in the world. No biggie. He's also the founder of Renaissance Technologies, which is a quantitative hedge fund based in East Setauket, New York. With a net worth of $18.5 billion, Simon is well known to be a quantitative investor. He makes investments using mathematical techniques and algorithms, thereby putting his crazy mathematical gifts to great advantage by making great investment gains from inefficiencies in the market. Okay, Jim. At this point, it's like beating a human calculation. It's just crazy. As a result of the long-term aggregate investment returns of Renaissance and its Medallion Fund, Jim is known as the greatest investor on Wall Street, and more specifically, the most successful hedge fund manager of all time. Now, those are names he could get used to, don't you think? For more than 20 years, Jim's Renaissance Technologies hedge fund that trade in markets around the globe have utilized mathematical models to understand and execute trades, many which have automated. Simon's Renaissance makes use of a computer-based models to predict changes in price in financial instruments. These computer-based models are used for analyzing as much data as can be gotten, then searching for random movements to base predictions. The main fund, Medallion, which is closed to outside investors, has garnered over $100 billion in trading profits since it was founded in 1988. This amounts to a 66.1% gross return, or a 39.1% average net return between the years 1988 and 2018. That's sweet, right? Number 2, Joseph Safra. Next up on number 2 is a Swiss banker, billionaire businessman, and founder and chief executive of the Safra Group, Brazilian banking and financial conglomerate. Joseph is a chairman among all the Safra firms, which includes the New York-based Safra National Bank and the Sao Paulo-based Banco Safra. Okay, Joe. Safra was ranked 39th on the Forbes list of billionaires for 2020, with an estimated net worth of around $22 billion. There's no question about his brilliance in investment. Back in 2020, he was the 52nd richest person in the world and the richest person in Brazil. Okay, Joe. Years back in 1955, Joseph's then 23-year-old brother, Edmund Safra, and his father, Jacob Safra, began working in Brazil by financing assets in Sao Paulo. However, Joseph's brother soon separated from his brothers Joseph and Moise and went into New York City, where he founded the Republic National Bank of New York, which he later sold to HSBC Bank in 1999, and donated most of the earnings to the Edmund Safra Foundation. We guess it runs in the blood. Joseph Safra founded Banco Safra in Sao Paulo in 1955, and is currently the 6th largest private bank in Brazil. Back in 2006, Joseph got the remaining shares of Banco Safra from his brother Moise and remained the chairman of the Safra Group, offering banking services all through North America, Europe, and South America. That's one busy man. Number 1 is Nathaniel Rothschild. Topping our list of investment bankers with the money in the bank is Nathaniel Rothschild. Mr. Rothschild is a financier who was born in Britain and settled in Switzerland. He happens to be a member of the popular Rothschild family. Nathaniel happens to have a very pretty resume. He's the chairman of the Volex plc, which is a UK-listed manufacturer. The man has a very wide range of business interests across the globe. He's proven to be a man with a plan. He joined fund manager Lazards and then moved on to work at Gleitscher, which happens to be the corporate finance firm presently owned by NatWest. Back in the year 2000, Rothschild occupied several positions and held a 50% share in NR Investments, Atticus Management and Atticus Capital, a hedge fund that controlled funds that were around £312 million in the year 2000. Just goes to prove that this man has always been up to speed. The Rothschild family were one of the most well-known figures in the broad world of investment banking, with reports stating that maybe the Rothschild dynasty has previously attained a whopping fortune of $1 trillion. That is incredible. Nathaniel Rothschild is one of the greatest investment bankers to ever do it, with an estimated net worth of $5 billion. He carries his life lessons and family legacy through his actions and his loved ones. The observers state that Rothschild's actual inheritance, hidden in a series of trusts in Switzerland, is rumoured to be about £40 billion through NR Investments Limited, his principal investment company. This is, of course, in addition to his declared inheritance of £500 million. These numbers are insane. Well, that's all for today's video. What do you think of these successful investment bankers? Would you like to make this list someday? Make sure to air your views in the comments section below. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel for more amazing content. See you in the next video.